Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. I scratched myself. And this time, I want to take a look at several volumes of DC comics in trade paperback form. They're mostly graphic albums of several comic books, but they're not all, almost. So we'll just take a look at some of these. Of course, you see the first one here is Superman, Adventures of the Man of Steel. This is reprinting several issues early on of the Superman Adventures, which was tied into the Superman the Animated Series. It goes back to when it was Kids WB. Remember that? WB doesn't even exist anymore. A few years later, it merged with the Paramount Network to become the CW. And so that's it, with this cool painted cover by Bruce Timm. Remember, he was in charge of the animated Superman the Animated Series and Batman the Animated Series and Justice League Animated Series. So this was material that was written by Scott McCloud and Paul Dini. It has Rick Burkett and Terry Austin on art, and I think Brett Blevins was doing either the colors or the lettering, or both. See here. Brett Blevins was one of the pencilers. Okay, and Terry Austin was the inker. Marie Severin was the colorist. You know, she goes way back to EC. She's gone now. With Lois Buhalis, I think that's how you pronounce that, as the letterer. And of course, and this was some good stuff. I used to get some of these at the time. And this volume is from 1998, I think it said it was. And I got some of the early issues, and I really enjoyed both the animated series and the tie-in comic book. And then later, this is the trade paperback, full comic book sized. Yet later, it was this material, this and stuff from Batman Adventures were also reprinted in a smaller digest size. But you can see the art style. Here's Dream. Oh, that Dream. Yeah, various drawings of the characters there. Good stories. Because so much like the so much like the animated series. Yeah, I forgot to put that up there. It's fine. Balance of Power. Some good fun reading, and that, of course, it doesn't fit into the regular continuity. Then here we have from 1991, I think this was from, Green Lantern Emerald Dawn. Keith Giffen and Gerard Jones, Jim Owsley, M.D. Bright, and Romeo Tangle. And of course, this was $4.95. So this is over almost 35 years ago, and $4.95 cover price. That's just about what a regular comic costs these days. See, how much did this Superman cost? I can't see that. I can't find it. Anyway, doesn't matter. But and this is reprinting the limited series that rebooted the Hal Jordan version of the Green Lantern. and some really nice artwork, and a lot of the material that's in this was also used in the unfortunate Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds. It's still fun to watch, but it wasn't as good as it could or should have been. And who was the? I don't see. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Some nice artwork, and it's been years since I've read any of these. So, but it has some nice artwork, and as I recall, it was a really good story. And I like Hal Jordan is my favorite Green Lantern. Might have something to do with my age. Although they had a series of novels, that was a trilogy basically of prose novels, Green Lantern prose novels that featured some of Hal Jordan, focused some on Alan Scott, focused primarily on Kyle Rayner, and I have never been a Kyle Rayner fan for the character, but I really liked that particular series of novels of Green Lantern. But that's cool stuff. And here, Superman again. This is Superman, the Man of Steel. This volume is from 2004, reprinting the 1986 miniseries by John Byrne and Dick Giordano. This is a Jerry Ordway cover, though. This is featuring the John Byrne Superman reboot, and I really liked this particular version of his origin, and the way it brought him up, and had, of course, many elements in here that was later the inspiration, partial inspiration for the TV series Lois and Clark. It has Magpie and Superman's first encounter with Batman, etc. Takes place over time with Lex Luthor, and they're starting off with him with hair, and then ending up with him completely bald. This is when he revealed his superpowers to Lana Lang, and I think a lot of this stuff has changed since then. But I really liked the presentation, the way he represented Krypton, and that was really cool. I really liked that. Then here from the 1990s, I don't remember what year it was, The Power of Shazam, presenting, and well, just thumbing through this, the spine broke, and so the pages have come loose, and that was just yesterday. The Power of Shazam by Jerry Ordway. He wrote and drew it, and this was his reboot, 1990s reboot of Captain Marvel, Shazam. Were they still? Yeah, Captain Marvel still. Oh, it's a nice painting, and here gave a nice reboot. Some really great artwork. I love Jerry Ordway's work for both Superman and Captain Marvel. Different interpretation of Dr. Savannah, and some elements of this origin were used in the Shazam movie, but that was mostly based on a later reboot. Station Wiz, Captain Marvel, and Black Adam has a completely different origin for Black Adam than what we know. I love this artwork. I especially love this version of the costume, which is the original version, based on the original version by C.C. Beck for the first few issues of Captain Marvel in Wiz Comics. In what was it, 3940? And part of the reason why he was called Captain Marvel originally is because his uniform is just that. It looked styled after a military uniform, an old-fashioned military uniform. And that's, like I said, I haven't read any of these in several years, but but that's really, really good. Then we have, this was a big one, Superman for All Seasons, collecting the that miniseries, which is yet another softer reboot of the Superman character by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. Highly stylized, still nice artwork, and it's mostly like filling in some gaps from the original origin. As I recall, anyway. Lex Luthor. There's almost an animation look to it, but not the same look as the animated series. And this was from what year was this from? 1998, and that was a big mini series at the time. Then here we have Wonder Woman: The Contest, and this was involved Artemis when she had the conflict with Artemis, who became Wonder Woman. Written by William Messner Loebs, Mike Deodato Jr. was the artist. Patricia Mulvihill is the colorist. John Costanza is the letterer, and has some nice artwork. Very stylized. And most of the covers were, but not all. A lot of the covers were done by. Come on, where were the covers? Other covers. Brian Boland, and that's some really. He did some really nice artwork there. I love that version. But this is stuff I really liked. Then here we have, this is the most recent acquisition, and this is still several years old, is Aquaman: War for the Throne by Jeff Johns, Paul Pelletier, and Ivan Reis. And of course, this is the cover. This graphic novel, of course, it's again a collection of a mini series, which is again basically a reboot of Aquaman. But the cover is one of the movie posters for the Aquaman movie, and this was reissued in conjunction with the movie. So it has many elements in here that were, to some extent, used in that film, including a lot of the primary plot. Of course, this also involves some Justice League stuff. But this is when I think Atlantis was attacking the surface world. If I remember correctly, it's been quite some time. Some real nice artwork and an enjoyable storyline, as I recall. Then we're going to finish up with this one, which was a standalone graphic novel, Batman: Son of the Demon, by Mike W. Barr and Jerry Bingham. And again, I said it's been years since I've read it, but of course, as you can tell by that was some more great artwork. As I recall, it was a really good story, but it's been so long since I've read it. I might have to read it again. And it involves Ra's al Ghul. Some really nice stuff. And the art style is very reminiscent of Neil Adams from the early 70s when Ra's al Ghul was first introduced. When Batman was turned back to being more serious and grim and set a darker tone. So that's what I had to share with you this time around. Some fun graphic albums, graphic novels, trade paperbacks, etc. Just some good old-fashioned comic book fun. Well, not too old-fashioned comic book fun, but these are all within the last 30 or so years. but it's also some really good reading, and that's why I still have them, and I've had them for many years, and they undoubtedly deserve another read. So I want to thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Which of these titles look the best to you? Which do you think would be the better ones to read? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And remember, comics are art.